Hello, Stream Queens Con 3.
Hi.
Hello, hello, hello. We are here with a group of fabulous drag kings to talk about, well, kingly things. This is Kings of the Internet. Say hi, everybody.
Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
everybody.
There we
Hello.
go.
Hi.
So,
Hey, yo, what's up?
oh, there we go. There we go.
Oh, that was kind of hot. That was actually kind of hot. Do you want to do that again?
Yeah, I just do the entire panel like this.
Wonderful.
Okay, actually, I feel like that would be kind of cute.
But yes, we are here to discuss drag kings and why you need to know more of them. So I'm going to introduce everybody going around in a circle. I'm going to start with myself. My name is Prince Harming, and I do drag here on twitch.tv. I am a drag king vampire. I play a lot of horror games. I play a lot of DBD, and I go by the pronouns he and they in drag. And I'm going to throw it over to Kiyoshi. Some pronouns. What do you do? And also, how long have you been doing drag?
Oh, fun. Hi, my name is Kiyoshi Yorha, pansexual drag investigator. You can find me at twitch.tv/Kiyoshi Yorha. I use he, they pronouns. And I actually started officially, I'm pretty sure last year at the same time, pretty much in October of 2022. And yeah, that's it.
Slay. I'm going to throw it over to Joy. Joy, would you introduce yourself? How long have you been doing drag?
Hi, everyone. I'm Joystick Twitch's resident drag monarch, is about the king and the queen, and I've been doing drag for about 4 years.
Slay, slay. Chorley, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Curly Swoon. I'm new here. I'm actually anxious to admit how long I've been doing drag for because y'all are elite. A lot of the people in the chat are elite. I have in earnest been doing drag. Y'all don't for like about 6 months.
Slay.
I owe a lot of my growth to recently to my drag mom, Annabelle. Shout out to you, Annabelle. I love you, bitch.
Yes.
But yeah, like massive transformations from her. Initially, I was too scared to call myself a drag queen, so I called myself a male impersonator. Because I felt a lot of pressure, but yeah, I've been doing that for that long. I'm predominantly a meme streamer. I play horror. I don't take it seriously. I take nothing seriously. But I do like, firstly, prioritize the content, and then secondly, maybe I do play a lot of horror. I play a lot of like story-based games. I read fan fiction, so if you submit your fan fiction, I will read it in my library. I'll do it. Nothing too crazy though, because some of y'all read some weird stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
Have
Yeah,
you read My Immortal?
I have actually twice. I got banned on TikTok for doing that. Actually, could you believe I wasn't even saying anything? I was like having a good time. I got banned on TikTok. That's why I literally moved to Twitch. I was getting banned every day on TikTok. I was
Oh
like,
my God.
I've had enough. I've had enough. I've been through a lot.
Yay.
But my pronouns are he, they in drag, she, they out of drag. Was there anything else? I'm a Scorpio sun, Gemini moon.
Ooh,
Oh,
we learned a lot
Libra.
about you.
You can learn a lot. An Aries
Wow.
rising. It's that I have me and Joe Biden share a birthday. It's really doesn't matter. Les, do you want to go?
Yeah, last but not
Nice.
least.
Nice segue.
I'm like, let's just.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lesbiana. It's been 84 years, I know, but here I am back for the con. Drag streamer and drag performer from Washington, D.C. Let's see, what do I do? Oh, my pronouns are they, them, non-binary. What do I do? As far as streaming, I stream all kinds of things. I guess lately it has been a lot of Fortnite, 7 Days to Die, that I have played with Kiyoshi and Joy, and it's very chaotic.
It's fun.
It's fun though.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
It was great to have all of you here. So I want to start with like a really just softball question. That's always great to start with any drag performers, but like, what would you describe your current drag style as, and where are you currently pulling your drag inspiration? Because I feel like as kings, we have different reference points than most people have when it comes to drag inspiration. Does anybody want to jump in?
Uh, sure. I
Go
think
for it, Kiyoshi.
for the most part, I think I mentioned this like a couple times to you and like a few times on stream. We can curse, right? Is that right? A little bit, just like I could say the F word, not the slur, but the word, right?
Oh my gosh.
I typically try to be like the standard is essentially like fuckboy, pretty much, and specifically anime fuckboy.
Oh my god.
All
So
right, that's good.
like I try to like definitely gravitate towards that. But for the most part, like I'm realizing I'm picking up things from other drag kings. Obviously the biggest one right now, the thing that started it all was you harming, doing a face
You
swap
cannot
for
blame this
yours.
on me.
I can. Well, actually, technically, we can blame it on we can blame it on Lady. And basically doing that face swap, and then going from there, I found Androgen, and just basically started borrowing some of their styles, and then as of recently, um, uh, Earl Grey. There's some
Oh
things I
yes.
picked up from them as well, and it's just like a few things that I've been picking up and just basically keep adding on top of it, and I am just discovering more about it. Also, like Joy too, like the contour here. I used to separate my chest contour out more, and I've been putting it in. I've been loving it. So it's just been
What
a
would you
mix of all
describe your
like.
current like vibe as?
I think for the most part, it's like it's still it's basically just like fuck boy. I'm still just trying to get into that era in short.
I see it.
Maybe
I
that's
see
what I
it
need
for
to get
you.
to. Sorry.
Wait, I'm
That
just
was
so
long.
curious. Like, are you a fuckboy?
In real life, no.
For other
I'm still
people.
Okay, so
I'm still
Let's ask
keep
the
like
audience.
toxicity on your drag. You keep the toxicity, but then add it. Yeah, you're like
yeah. I'm still a virgin, so that's just
me too.
it's like that.
Same.
I'm done.
Okay,
Wait, where do you get your
next.
inspirations from?
Who?
Gio Joy.
Me? Oh.
Yeah. Yes, you on the panel.
Well, my inspiration is like very much the same as my personal style. So it's like either a lot of darks, very goth, or pastel. Those are there's no in between. That's
No, there's
it.
not.
Yeah. It's basically just like a mixture between Hot Slut, which is my brand now, or K-pop himbo, which is inspired by Wonho, who is sadly going to military service.
Ugh.
And you forgot glitter.
Oh yeah, glitter. I put glitter
Glitter.
everywhere. I have him right now.
You do.
I feel like a
Ooh.
Twilight vampire. This is the skin
Which,
of
by
a
the way,
killer
This
fella.
whole vibe is very vampiric. Like everything. It's the Twilight background. It's the Twilight influence.
Like, by the way, our theme today, we're all dressed in black, gothy style. This was not
This is not
Not
planned.
planned at all. Not planned at all.
There is a complete through line here.
We're here for a funeral. I don't know whose funeral, but
I'm always ready for a funeral.
Our sanity. That's our That's
There we
the
go.
funeral for.
I guess we thought black was really masculine. We were like, color feminine.
yeah,
Black
get rid of color.
masculine.
No color at all.
Nuts.
So, Truly, what's your current vibe in drag, and where do you pull your inspiration from?
I think my current vibe, I'll be really honest, and it's in the name. It's like my initial vibe is Charlie Swan. I was like, this is giving dad. It's giving well-meaning dad. It's giving, but then I started to
It's
veer
giving
off.
carrying the franchise.
You said it. You said it. I didn't say it. But and then it started to mutate into like this like Joe Exotic, just I think it's actually his looks are really given. Like, let's just like hit him.
If you could
Sure.
separate his looks
Sure.
from him, like he does give
Yeah.
a very unique style.
He's very,
Very iconic.
fashionable. He's very fashionable. And I was just like, I like this, like kind of like, you know, depraved thing happening. But now it's getting a little classy. It's definitely Annabelle is one of my influences, so I definitely am inheriting some of those like elements. I think I also do look at a lot of like androgen. One of my favorite current drag artists is Riverglass, and y'all should check them out if you don't know
Yes.
them. So
Yes.
good.
Yes.
So good at like having that, like, I love that sort of ability to like soften a drag king look, because I think so
Mhm.
often we are expected to be severe, and they still
Yeah.
manage to pull it off,
Yeah.
you know. And they have just like, they use unorthodox items to, like, you know, I was like, I would never
Sponges.
thought. Yeah, like that. I was literally just about to say that. I was like, the sponge daddy thing, for context, y'all. It's like he took like sponge daddy, you know, like the sponges, like, you know,
Yeah.
for cleaning. And then he cut them up and made it like a whole. And he also did a matte, like, what's the name of the guy that erases? He's like bald.
Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean.
Mr.
Oh,
Clean.
Mr.
Mr.
Clean.
Mr. Clean.
Not
I don't know why we
sponsored.
don't have. Not sponsored.
You can switch it. Go for it. Don't let me stop you.
What's it called? But which also, we need like a super clean drag king. I feel like that would be like such a vibe. Like, but
Oh yeah.
but just so innovative. I like this idea. Like, I would like to push my drag. I feel like I'm so into it that I'm like, this is really where I'm messing around. Like, I am truly messing around. Like, you know, Joy, you've been doing it for 4 years. I feel like you get to feel really established, and that's like really nice too, to just feel like I know what I'm doing. So it's like a little
I
bit
don't know what I'm
vulnerable.
doing.
Okay. Well, you look like it, babes. But it is like kind of weird to like experiment so heavily while being perceived. So I'm kind of open to what people kind of throw at me. Like, I feel really open to like mess around and stuff. So that's where I'm at. I'm
Nice.
still figuring it out.
Awesome.
Do we popcorn it? Is that what we're doing? Like, do we popcorn it? Like, you ever do that in
Yeah.
class?
Oh
Popcorn?
yeah.
Should
I
we
am fully a
popcorn?
teacher that has done that. So yes.
Yeah.
Same. It's like the worst thing you can do to a student. Now you pick, you know? So I will pick. You know, it's almost like we have one person left. That's crazy. And Prince, to be fair.
Oh.
That's
Okay,
good.
Les,
It's
you do
me.
it.
Yeah.
To me.
Interesting. I guess my style is kind of a little similar to Joy's, like harness and like black leather vibe. Pretty much, I guess the daddy
Mhm.
vibe, you know, me and my shirtless body. That's how I
I
like to
missed your
do.
shirtless body.
I
Oh,
know. I
too.
know. um, but also kind of like what Trolley was saying, like very classy in a way, not classy, but like more like gentle person, I would say.
Gentle daddy.
Yeah. Gentle daddy, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, I do get inspiration. Have watched a lot of River Glass.
Mhm.
I have like a touch of like tenderoni a bit. Um, who else? I think that's pretty much the
And you
top two
love
for
this
me.
hat.
I love this is like my signature hat.
It really is.
Yes.
That's why I'm surprised you didn't talk
Very
about the
signature
hat. I'm
hat.
like, when I think of you, I think
Truly.
of this hat.
Uh-huh.
It
Yeah, I
just
feel like
it
Yeah.
completes the look so well every time.
you've never taken it off since
Mm,
last year.
Does
No, I
the hat
haven't.
have lore? Like, what's the backstory of the hat? Who's the hat?
I don't know. Like I just
When did you
envisioned
discover the
like
hat?
what I was just I'm pretty sure I got it at Target and I was like, you know, this would be really good for my drag. Like very gentleman,
Mhm.
classy.
My
So
lady.
Yeah, I literally.
yeah.
Did you just like put it on
Yeah,
after you bought
very
it? You were just
like
like, this is it.
that's it. Yeah.
Unique? Yeah, that was like,
And
yeah.
it's pretty much pretty much part of every outfit almost. Yeah, that and my many different like harnesses that I have. usually like a see-through, like Joy see-through shirt or like a tank top.
Twinsies.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
Thank
pretty
you.
much me.
Yeah, I also didn't answer the question that I asked initially, but for me personally, I mean, I try to have like a very consistent look that I do. I don't like do a lot of varied looks. I think that's my way of just like legitimizing my laziness is that I try to have just one look that I do over and over and over again. I just try to do it well. But like I'm always looking back to I'm always looking at different goth styles, whether it's on like Pinterest or anywhere on the internet, or I'm looking back at old like hair metal and stuff like that from like the 80s and looking into things like cyberpunk styles and trying to blend that all together into something. But that's all I'm really doing right now. As long as it's black, I like it for the most part. If it's black, if it doesn't have sleeves, I think that's really the biggest thing for me.
Yes.
Nothing can have sleeves. I hate sleeves. Both in and out of drag, I hate sleeves. And I will not
Yes.
wear them in drag. Period.
We get free tickets to the gun show.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Ooh,
I
where's the
should contour
bathroom?
some muscles on. But here we go. Continuing off of that topic though, like how much has your style changed since you first started drag? Like when you first started doing drag and you had an idea of how you wanted to look in your head and you were doing that, how much has that changed since you started?
Oh, by a lot. I was I started off doing like crazy different skin colors. Like I'd done like pink and blue and all that shit, and I was like, "This is gonna be me." And then, like 4 years later, here I am. The
You're like,
opposite
this
of
isn't a phase, this is me. And then
that. I kept the beard style though, so I
Mhm.
do like a very whenever I do a beard, I do like a very graphic beard style where it's like very exaggerated shadows and highlights. I kept that,
Mhm.
but other than that, it's just like completely 180. I don't want to revisit it though.
okay, I know you've had quite the evolution in drag.
Oh yeah, for sure. Also, I forgot to mention JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is also another part of it
Oh yeah,
that's
I
kind
keep
of
seeing
coming
that.
back again. It kind of like went out of cycle for a second, but it's back again. And that's really like the comic lines and everything that's you're seeing right now. Um, yeah, so it's changed ever since because obviously again, from the face swap that I did with you, I picked up that and then I branched off. I built off of that and have done. I've seen some other looks and stuff, and yeah, I'm really surprised. And even like as of lately, I've been at a really hard place in trying to find like my cheek contour because for a while I was doing like still doing femme contour, which I still like to do every once in a while. But I've been trying to place my like more masculine contour out, and like placement is so annoying. But I'm
Mhm.
really at a get a good spot now. With that. And just that alone has just like has changed throughout like starting from last year. So yeah, it's changed and I really like where it's going now because I'm learning a lot more about my obviously my facial features and I think that's something we all do as drag artists when we're or even like makeup artists when we use or put stuff on our face. Um we find out and yeah, no, I it's changed so much and I'm really happy where it's going.
That's what's up.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I answered the
There we
question,
go.
but
You did. I was waiting. Does anyone else want to jump in on that topic?
You don't want a popcorn? Do you want a popcorn, Kyoshi? Just
oh yeah,
just like
I'll popcorn
plastic.
it. Let's
There
popcorn
you
Oh,
it.
go.
me? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, change it up.
Um, Definitely has my face has changed since the beginning. Like you can even look back at like my first stream and it's definitely improved. I think I'm still trying to work on more of the contouring of my face. Um, I pretty much have like the top like eyebrow area pretty down-ish. I like what it's doing. But as far as like my cheek area, I'm still like working on that. Um, and then obviously I have grown into this like signature beard look, which I really like. So yeah, I might I don't know, maybe play around with color, see how that goes.
Yeah.
Color feminine. Mm.
Oh, oh.
But it's a joke. I'm joking. I'm joking. 'Cause, full circle. Okay. let's go.
JK Kimura.
Well, you truly, where did you start?
Where did I
And-
start? Sorry, finish what you were saying. I'm so sorry.
I was like, where'd you start to get to where you are now? Like, how much has your style changed?
Honestly, it's changed a lot in like the span of like literally 3 months. I
Mhm.
literally popped up. Like I popped up. I was just like I had all of this like lace facial hair just lying around because I always was like curious about drag and I was like, I want lace facial hair. That's what I want. You see how it's like flying up. Don't worry about it. But at first, I was just like, I would just dress up as dudes, like in a mustache and just like be super conventional, like no makeup, nothing, no contouring, like maybe I'll thicken my eyebrows. And I already started to like pick up traction just doing that, which kind of slowed me down because I was like, this is what people like. They can't tell what I'm doing. I just look like a conventional man with very thin eyebrows and they really like it. And so that really held me back for a minute. And then eventually, like now I'm kind of like entering I don't know. I used to like even just this week I started changing like my contouring entirely where I started to like blend up and do more of a queen cheek. And I was like, well, what if I could not make it like a queen look? Because I think I was just like, what does it look like when we incorporate these shapes that we don't normally see on kings even.
Mhm.
Just like looking at makeup artists and stuff on like Pinterest. I love Pinterest. I all love Pinterest. I love me, not sponsored by Pinterest, but do love Pinterest. But definitely I want to get better at blending. My biggest struggle right now is like my eyes. Mostly because I was recovering from like a 2-month-long eye infection. Okay. So
Oof.
it was gnarly. All from makeup, y'all. Clean your brushes.
Clean your brushes, everybody.
Clean your brushes.
Clean your brushes.
PSA. Clean your brushes because I learned the hard way and I'm not embarrassed. I'm coming forward with my story.
I know
Thank you.
some of y'all haven't cleaned your brushes, so do it.
When was the last time you cleaned your brush, Joy?
Huh? Today?
Joy is good about it. Joy is always on it.
Yeah, like I fully like clean mine once a week.
Wow. See, that's the standard. Me
What?
too. Me too.
Les,
Joy's
it's
like-
been 84 years for Les.
Les literally hasn't cleaned the brushes since last year.
Literally.
I'm gonna get an
Been
acid
sitting there collecting
infection.
dust. Use the dust as setting powder. That's what Les did with those brushes.
That's what I did. Yeah. That was dust that I was putting on my face earlier.
This is actually a panel on hygiene, on drag hygiene. So
Absolutely.
I mean,
it should be.
next year it needs to be one.
Honestly, that would be a great panel, dear you. No, it would be. That's great because I actually really don't have any idea how to like maintain a lot of the things that I have, which is like weird because you would think that that's something that you would just know how to do, but then you like you know what I mean? Even like cleaning and like just moisturizing, like it's just so much more intensive.
There's a lot
for
of
drag.
tutorials on how to put the makeup on your face, but not how to clean it off your brushes.
Or your brushes or literally your face too.
Or
Still,
your
like,
face too, yeah.
That's true.
I mean,
Like,
we got
depending
drag
on how
artists out there
much.
using like steel wool and like
That's so
Oh,
good.
fabuloso
no.
or something. I don't know.
I love
Oh
that.
God, the image that just went into my brain. Ugh.
Personally,
It builds
my
character.
Mhm. My evolution has really just been more of like I haven't really had like a major like pivot in my style. It's stayed pretty much the same for the past couple years since I started. It's just been more of like a refinement process of like I started out with like really light makeup and then I started getting really into like the heavier like contouring and then I learned how to make that look better and like blend it out a little bit better. So like for me mostly the process this entire time has just been like getting better at doing the same face every single day.
Yeah.
I think it worked out. Like I like that stuff you've added on, like as you've gone. Like the scar when you added the
Mhm.
scars, I was like, this looks
Oh, yeah,
fucking
that
cool.
was the biggest pivot,
Yeah.
and it was because of a TikTok filter
Mm-hmm.
that I accidentally applied on my face one day, and I was like, wait a second,
This is
I kinda
literally
like
from a TikTok
this.
filter.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to TikTok.
Arcane.
Yeah, literally from
Arcane
the
filter.
arcade TikTok filter. And then I
I mean,
applied
like
it
you
to
can
my
see,
face.
like this is a mug from when I like had just started, and I think the shapes and everything still look the same. I think I look like the same person, just a little different.
Can I
You
ask
can
a
find
Scars
this at
just
my merch
increase
store, by
over
the
the
way.
year. Like you just get more and more rugged over the year.
Exactly.
Can
You
I
lose
ask
an
a,
eye, yeah.
can I ask a quick question?
Go
You
for it.
know? Sleeves or no sleeves? And then there's a third option for bald.
Oh, it's a pull. I mean, no
Yeah.
sleeves.
Okay. No
I think that's
Yes.
like a really controversial question, honestly, because we already know where two people stand. I don't know. And then you have like three very sleeved people. Well, actually, no, y'all are see-through. So is that no sleeve? Is that
So
like
no
you
sleeve. No
I
sleeve
could
is for me.
see.
Yeah.
No, I have fisting glove.
Oh, okay.
True. You're right.
But you don't need sleeves for that. So
No,
No,
You're right.
definitely sleeveless.
this one's just for Twitch. That's it.
Yes.
so bald.
While we were on the subject of PSAs, we did have the one somewhat more serious topic that we wanted to talk about here today. And it's one that we've been talking about. I've had this discussion with so many different people over the past like couple of years. And it's something that continuously keeps being brought up because it never really quite sticks, I guess, which is I know this is like a very sharp segue, but like the language surrounding drag currently, as drag has become more mainstream,
Mhm.
is and this isn't supposed to be a call out for anybody in chat. Everybody is well meaning in this, but one thing I have noticed as my time of being a drag king is that our drag language needs to be more inclusive. And I've been guilty of this in the past, but we typically default when talking about drag. A lot of people default to talking about drag queens, and we really need to like discuss how important it is to respect other forms of drag than just drag queens with our language by not just referring to drag as drag queens all the time, because it really comes off as sort of a disrespect towards other forms such as drag kings, if that made sense. I think I said the
Yeah.
same thing like 4 times.
Oh, yeah.
But how do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about updating drag lingo in the mainstream to really like raise more awareness for drag kings?
I think it shouldn't even be necessarily drag kings only, too. Other drag artists that like exist in the middle. Because I don't think it's necessarily just about asking what people are comfortable with so much as like
Mhm.
looking at the like undercurrent of it all. And I said this before, and I know that this is like spicy, so I'm not going to be shy about it. But I do think it's like oftentimes rooted in misogyny and even lesbophobia. I say that because
Yeah.
oftentimes you don't see kings at drag queen shows. I've been to a lot of drag queen shows and I've been to a lot of drag king shows, and most of the drag king shows are at lesbian events and lesbian bars. And we know this, and I don't want any nonsense. But if you anywhere you live, just count how many like lesbian bars there are, or even like queer inclusive and trans inclusive bars. Because okay, so we get the picture. So a lot of the times the reason that inclusion is missing is because we're not including the full spectrum of queers. It's not just about like, because yeah, you might even say, well, what do you mean by that? Like we have drag queens, that's like the personification of femininity. That's fair, okay, but who is in those spaces? Ultimately, we boil it down to community. It boils down to community,
Mhm.
So who are you in community with? And that's the real. Why don't we have that language? Why don't we have those spaces? Because we need other people to include the other queers on this huge spectrum. The inclusivity doesn't just start with drag kings and the pronouns that we use for kings or like drag artists. It starts with you including us in your spaces, period.
Mhm.
I'm done.
Very well
Absolutely.
said. Thank you.
Yes.
I'll eat that up. I'm just kidding.
You did.
You did,
No,
absolutely. I think community is definitely one of the things that definitely needs to be on board with inclusivity for sure. And like with my experience, especially with being on TwitchCon Drag Showcase is the first drag king on Drag Showcase. I have watched many like viewing parties essentially like after like post, and I know, and this isn't. I know these people don't mean any ill will or anything, but the experience that I had while watching them uh, reviewing it, and them just commenting simply just like the queens ate and the girls did that. It basically kind of excluded me essentially as a king, and I think for the most part it there is slightly a problem on my end for not getting my pronouns on time for the showcase, because initially I had it for he or they them any, and then it was actually like 2 or 3 weeks beforehand that someone came into my chat at some point when I was playing a game, and they basically said like, "You look great, queen," and then basically that diminished all the work that all the 2 to 3 hours that I did for my face to be a king to just be turned down by one word. And yeah, it just I again I know that they didn't uh like say those terms in ill will, but the fact that like they're saying it, and then with X amount of like viewers that were watching at the time, that's going to be passed down to them, and then the community will then just refer to every drag artist regardless as like queens and like girlies and whatnot. So it's like, and that's totally fine. Like everyone works just as hard. It's just that basically I feel like it just excludes us even more further um in like visibility, if that makes any sense.
Exactly. Nobody's like going into these conversations and saying these things thinking like, I'm gonna exclude the drag kings today. It's just like, it's the language that's like baked into the mainstream culture currently, where because there's not as many visible forms of drag kings or alt drag out there currently, people default to drag queen because that's just what they're used to seeing all the time in all the spaces. So it's like it usually comes out of a place more of ignorance than malice.
Yeah.
But it's something that people should be aware of when they're speaking about drag.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes back to those spaces though, because they're so like accustomed to those spaces. It goes
Yeah.
back to like including us, because when you're talking about visiting someone's stream, the really amazing thing about Twitch is it is really easy to find your chosen family, or I shouldn't say easy, but it's more accessible. We're all over the world, right? And so as we're building these new spaces, that's so cool. We're building these, don't mind the mustache. We're building these new spaces, and so we can make that effort here. We can't control what's happening at the bar scenes, to be honest, but we can control what's happening, or not control, but we can help set that foundation so that we don't basically repeat the same scenario. So it's like in those are still, it's like a bar. When you go into that Twitch stream, it's like you're going into a bar, and you're right, it has that domino effect. So it's about, well, dig deeper. Do you want me to be a part of your community? It's not just about like, do you see me as a king? Do you want me to be a part of the community? Then respect me. Ask me about me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Respect.
I mean, like, yeah,
Yeah.
it really, and just being kind, not,
Mhm.
like respect and be kind. Like, it's hard to make us feel included when we don't think you want us there. You can't just say you want us there when it's this kind of thing happening, right? Like that's pointed, but it's true. It's like, you want us to be there, then make us feel like you want us to be there too. The labor can't just come from us.
Yeah.
Should I say something goofy now to like lighten the mood?
Is
Go
it
for
goofy
it.
time?
Y'all want to give your big three? Or I don't know, not to divert, but like, does
Big
anyone else
three?
have any? Yeah, your big three.
Wait, what does that mean?
I don't know what that
I don't know what
means.
that means.
Oh, wow. Okay, no, I guess
I'm old.
Is it like astrology? Is
No.
it like
It's okay.
your favorite band?
I'm a lesbian, and that's what happened. That's what happened. Is like my lesbianism really came
Oh.
through.
I know Big
Oh,
Five Sports. That's it.
Oh wow.
No, no,
Okay.
not this.
What about
Not
this?
sports.
To pivot back to
Well,
the fun stuff. So we are all drag artists on the internet in specific. So how has the internet in particular influenced your drag? I would say that it accelerated the like pace of my like drag development because I had so much material ready for me right off the bat. And like I was
Mhm.
able to,
Mm.
because I was working on the internet in specific, I was able to meet so many other drag artists before I even started doing drag and got me like really into the community really fast. So like if it wasn't for that, I don't think my drag would have, I think I would still be looking busted wearing like BB cream instead of foundation, you know, and not
Mhm.
highlighting. So how has the internet like influenced your style and your drag at all? In what way?
I mean, for me, it's like really influenced it because I'm known as like a shirtless legend for one.
Mhm.
Um, I guess similarly, I look a little bit like David from Dead by Daylight, so
Mhm.
that's definitely who I play
Mhm,
whenever I do
mhm.
play. Um, I guess before the pandemic hit, like I was just simply like watching people on Twitch, and that's kind of how I discovered Deer. And I was like, oh wow, there's drag on Twitch.
He's
And
Mhm.
then
savage.
yeah. And I was like, I'm not doing anything, we're all quarantined here. So I decided to just go for it. And I was like, I don't really see any other, people or drag masculine folk
Mhm.
on Twitch. And so I just went for it, got me like the simplest like camera, microphone, and just went for it. And now I'm here doing the
Yeah.
panel and
It's
everything.
all led up to here.
It's all led up to here, and I'm back after 84 years.
So
Thank you
glad to
so
have
much.
you. How about you, Joy? How has the internet influenced your drag?
Oh, it has influenced it, pretty much the entirety of it. Because like similar to Les, because I started off at like my drag journey started off like seeing other drag artists here on Twitch, like this person named Dear. I don't know if you know who that person is. She
We
sounds
could
like a
we could
bitch. I
look
don't
her up or
know.
something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
off the Twitter.
Yeah,
yeah.
go on Google.
But there's that, and then I was finding all these like drag artists here on Twitch, and I started to think like wondering where the kings are. So I was like, let's start to dip our toe into that. And I was like, no, let's do it. Let's do both. Why not? Let's be both a king and a queen. Because like I feel like I can explore my gender identity and my drag with both. So I was like, you know what? Do it. Let's do it. And that's where I came up with the term like drag monarch, because it's like I was trying to figure out like what would my drag label be. And I was like, since I'm doing both. And I was like, drag artist is not regal enough for me. So I was like, you know what? Drag monarch, why not? It's
Yes.
a
Yes.
gender neutral term for drag queen or king. So let's do
Mhm,
it.
mhm. I
You
love
get
that.
the best of
And it's
all
starting to pick up.
worlds.
So you're welcome.
So thank you so much. How about you, Chorley? How's the
Thank you.
internet influenced your drag?
I mean, it's all started on the internet. It really did, though. It's actually exactly like what you were saying, Prince, is that it's the accessibility, I think, that made it
Mhm.
so inviting. Because like I said, for years I was like, I want to do drag, and I'd go to all these shows, but I was like, and then suddenly going on the internet, I was like, well, if I'm, like you start Googling stuff, even YouTube, but even being in community with people, like for me it was actually predominantly TikTok because that's mostly where I lived. And I would just suddenly have these mutuals. I would look at their videos and I would like learn from them. I would ask them questions, literally like this, like this whole thing is, it's made it a lot more fruitful because there's also a community for it that you can also help, make safe and comfortable for yourself. Ideally.
Yeah, I will say it makes starting drag very accessible being on the internet
Yeah.
because you don't have to worry about trying to find a club or a bar that's going to have an open night for you and having to like
Literally.
some of us aren't even, I mean, I know I'm not a stage performer. I'm really not. This is where I thrive.
You really
This is where
are.
I thrive. In an empty room with a camera and a light, this is where I live. Because I don't like the
I think
noise.
I think we were talking about this earlier too, like off stream is kind of like it's just kind of really hard to like secure those gigs. It ends up being a little bit, I don't want to say gatekeepy, but I get it. It's like you get this like it's like a platform, like when you go to a club, a gig is like a platform. And so people are going to hook up their friends, the people they already know, they know what works. They don't want new people. And especially with like drag kings, that's even harder. Like if you think it's hard to break into the scene as like a drag queen, like it's totally, well, also like maybe like the standards are different.
It's
But
been more accepting probably, but kings are harder for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, totally, exactly. So it's like you get to actually create your platform here, and so yeah.
How about you, Kiyoshi? How was the internet influenced your drag?
Exponentially. I think I similar to all of you. I didn't really have like a drag parent essentially, and most of my learnings is through the internet. I did have a friend at some point for local drag, and for the most part, it all basically started watching a reality drag competition show that Aphasia Speaks actually forced me to watch, which I had a great time. And then I went up from there, and then I dabbled into it, and then YouTube is like a great outlet to like find everything. And then I ended up finding like wig styling and whatnot. Went from there, and then now primarily similar to Shirley, like it's TikTok. TikTok has been an amazing source of information for like a lot of my drag. And yeah, I like the internet has like I probably wouldn't have been at this stage where I'm at right now without the internet. So yeah.
It really is like TikTok makes it palatable because you get that lip syncing transformation makeup thing, like really compact. Like TikTok is like, I'm not trying to
Not
like,
sponsored.
they're not sponsored, but also like screw you sometimes, like,
Yeah.
like you could stop banning me. But
Yeah.
seriously, like I think anyone who hasn't experimented is a drag artist and hasn't experimented with TikTok. It's like fun because you still get those elements of controlling your space, but then you get the music that comes with like performing and lip syncing. Maybe you don't need your whole body, it's just your face, and you get to like just get that real close up on your makeup, because I feel like sometimes when we stream we don't get to show the process often, or some drag artists do, but it's just fun. It's just fun.
It is fun.
That's fully
Well,
why
like I
I
said-
have this particular one. Like your hair. Hi.
Oh, hi,
Jade,
close up.
okay, let's
Sarah, you like Jasper from Twilight.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Your eyes are like really piercing through my soul right now.
It'd be like a brilliant example is like these scars on my fists were literally the result of me using a TikTok filter by accident. That is
Oh my!
literally just like internet influence. Oh, not the
Go ahead.
best
Yeah.
pop.
The behind the scenes.
Open up DVD. Just open up DVD. Just do it right now.
quickly. We can rectify this.
So we did touch on this earlier a little bit without me actually having to prompt it, but one thing I really wanted to talk about, since we're here talking about drag kings and platforming drag kings, I want everybody to discuss a drag king that you know of on the internet, whether that's like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, that you would like to spotlight.
Just
One that well, I mean, if you have others, feel free to throw in some more, but have, at least one. Someone that I look at quite a bit, especially as of recently, is Mud with two Ds, the Two Spirit.
Yes, yes.
I follow them on Instagram. Like, beautiful paint, a wonderful idea, like just a great drag king. Yes, so like and also another person that I look at quite a bit is Alien King Luke, who sadly could not be here today. But Luke is booked in a Blessed in Chicago, and I couldn't be
Yes.
happier for them.
Yes.
But I love Luke. Luke is such a just like a wonderful king, so brilliantly creative, and just like such a wonderful, nice, welcoming person.
Yeah.
And so like
but
I was gonna say, catch them on those Roscoe's viewing parties for Dragula.
yeah. Also, go to their channel for Queer It every Saturday at 5 p.m. PST. Literally, I love Luke.
Sunday,
'cause-
Sunday,
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday,
Did I say
Sunday.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I meant Sunday. Sorry. But yeah, literally, I love Luke because they offered me the opportunity to perform for the very first time, and like it was amazing. So yeah, get into it.
Get into it.
Here, who do you want to plug? Plug
Who do I
somebody.
want to plug?
Yeah.
I think I feel like I want to just say one because I feel like the other couple are gonna be in. I'll just say two for now, I guess.
Mhm.
Androgen for sure because like I
Mhm.
think I definitely started doing um their looks at some point and it really I forgot I did it and then I looked back and I was like, wait, looks pretty good on me. So I probably should keep doing that and work off of that. And then also, as of recently, Earl Grey as well is another person that I have recently loved their look, and I don't know, it's been great watching their content too. Like they're really funny.
Love Earl Grey.
Mhm.
How about
Oh,
you,
I forgot
Joy?
to shout out Cream Inakuchi. They
Yes.
are mhm,
Oh, yes.
fantastic drag name, fantastic
Mhm.
performer. They're always shirtless, they're always naked. I love them. Go follow them. It's
They were
Cream
on the
when
King's panel last year.
they were,
Yes.
and they were also part of a People of the Sun, which was an
That's
AAPI
right. Mhm.
3-day thing that we did last year. So yeah.
Fantastic.
I said this before, so I'll say it again. Listen, guys, I don't know what to tell you about the flying mustache. I know I keep bringing attention to it.
The more you do, the more we
I
look
know
at it.
it's like the rabbit hole that you just keep digging it and then you just
Yeah.
dive. It's like a whole thing.
It's your thing now at this point.
It's my thing. So I have to like roll with it. Do you know what? I have
Yeah,
to make it a
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
It's this is content. This is content. I said Riverglass before, and I want to reiterate it. If you haven't seen
we can't
Riverglass,
mention them enough. Riverglass.
literally Riverglass is like so innovative, like so
Mhm.
just like I don't know, like I think they're being really creative and they're introducing like elements from SFX that I see a lot of other like drag queens do, but I don't see a lot of kings do sometimes.
Yep.
But that's again, the ranks of kings will increase soon enough. I feel it in my bones. That's a person I want platform.
I bought my breastplate because of Riverglass.
Mhm.
Yeah, big same. I can also shamelessly, even though not a drag, can be a drag king sometimes. Annabelle can be a drag king sometimes. I feel it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to platform Annabelle for all the times she's
Oh,
platformed
yeah.
me. But still,
Twitch partner Annabelle.
that's right. Look at that check mark.
Look at that.
Look at that delicious check mark. But it's funny. Like Annabelle has been interested in re-entering her drag king era. So you know
Ooh.
what? Now I'm putting you on the spotlight, Annabelle. Let's see those drag king looks because she has done them before. We're all watching now. No pressure though. We love you.
No pressure.
We love you.
How about you,
Yeah.
Les? Who would you like to spotlight?
I'd like to spotlight kind of more of my like local drag
Mhm.
scene. Ricky Rose comes to mind as someone who's definitely like made a community like and just like went with it and blew up and is pretty much advocating for other people to be included, especially other more drag king or drag masculine folk to be included in spaces that are mostly drag queens, and even spaces that are needing people who are Black, Indigenous, people of color. Um, who else? There is also Magic Dyke, who was part of our scene here in DC, but they moved to Africa, and they're same thing, trying to advocate for a lot of LGBTQI plus folks in that area. And so
Mhm.
yeah.
Slay. I love that you have like a local drag scene that you get to be a part of because not everybody even has
Beautiful.
that. Another thing that's great about the internet is like I've never really lived in a place that had like a really good, solid drag scene. So like that's
Mhm.
another thing that's great about being on the internet. You're able to have a community even if you're not physically close to anyone.
Sometimes it's the best part. Sometimes I don't want to be close to people. Sometimes I
That's
don't want. I
Yeah,
don't
also
want to
yeah,
see
weird.
you.
true.
I can press
True.
that hang up button. I'm not like that though. Okay, let me just. I sounded really, but it's true. It's true. It's nice
Mhm.
to. It's about boundaries. It's actually that's what it's about. It's about
Yeah.
boundaries. It's about energy. Like you don't always have the energy to go out.
Mhm.
Maybe you're neurodivergent, all that stuff, and it's nice to be able to be like, okay, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what
Mhm,
I'm
mhm,
saying.
mhm,
You
mhm.
know, yeah.
Also, it's very nice to just annoy my neighbors whenever I scream in the middle of the night.
Getting chased
I haven't
by
had
a
any noise
nemesis in a
complaints yet.
thong.
Oh my god. Everybody got a turn, right? To plug somebody? Didn't miss
Yeah.
nobody? Okay, I just want to make sure. All right. So
Oh wait, I have one.
oh, go for it.
I would like to plug everyone in this panel.
Oh, that's
Oh.
cute. That's cute.
Mhm, mhm,
Follow
mhm.
everyone in this panel, please. Thank
There should be
you.
a button on screen, a little green dynamic follow
A
button.
dynamic follow button that has been wonderfully updated by our modding staff.
The best
Love
way to
that.
support
Yes.
Drag Kings is by hitting that follow.
The best way
You
to
know?
support Drag Kings is by literally just supporting Drag Kings and just
Exactly. Or hitting the
going
follow.
to their
too.
streams, going to their shows, watching their
Yes.
drag numbers, giving us money, you know, all that good stuff. Also, giving money to Amphar is also a brilliant thing to do.
Also true. Exclamation point donate.
Or it's pinned.
All right, I got
Oh
one
yes,
last
it
thing.
is.
I wanted to dip into one audience question that I saw from the Jenny Raider.
Oh.
I thought this was just like a really fun thing that we could just like hit on really quick. If there was a show with an entirely drag king cast, what challenge would you like to see?
Challenge?
What challenge would you
Ooh,
like to see?
that's a
Like an
good one.
episode challenge?
Okay. An all drag king cast?
This is a king drag competition show.
Okay.
How well you can stuff your pants.
There you go.
That's a good one.
A stuffing
That's a really good
challenge.
one.
How about a harness design contest?
Oh
Ugh,
yeah.
I'd lose so
Mhm.
fast. I'd
That
lose
would
so
be
fast. Okay, we have like a laced facial hair challenge. Can you
Ooh,
construct?
like a
can,
facial hair
Yeah.
construction challenge.
Oh,
That's fun.
That'd be so difficult. People would show up and not know what to do. Even making a harness, y'all make your own harnesses.
I'm just saying, like,
no.
if they provided a whole bunch of
I
leather
don't.
scraps or something, I don't know, or just duct tape
Maybe.
of
I
different
know
colors.
the way we would all just like I don't know. Like, do y'all sew? Like
I
I
do.
don't sew.
I'm
I don't sew.
trying.
That feels. Me
I'm
too.
trying.
No.
I repurpose.
I
Yes.
don't sew.
That-
I would say
Repurpose.
a slip and slide challenge. Yeah. I think that'd be fun.
Oh,
oh.
that's
The
on brand
photo
for
shoot
you.
challenge.
Or just like an actual serious question is like, or answer is like a body like paint
Illusion.
Like
challenge.
Like a body
contouring.
Illusion.
sculpting
Body
kind
illusion.
of.
Yeah.
Oh, I like body
probably.
sculpting. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, how well you can make a muscle suit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'd pull out all your SFX chops just on the
Yeah.
spot.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
I do
You
like the
know?
idea of a slip and slide photo challenge. So, like that's like the
What does that even mean? What's a slip and slide photo
So,
challenge?
I just imagine like everyone in wet t-shirt or like white
You
t-shirts.
just
Like
want to see
swimsuit
people
wear.
naked.
That's
what,
it. That's also
Yeah,
it.
We
that's
That's
could just
also
fun.
it
have a
too.
party. We
I'm
could just
sorry.
have a
Well, maybe
party.
just to get be in
I
a
just like the
party
idea of like
naked
trying to look
challenge.
sexy and getting your picture taken while sliding down a slip and slide. I think that would just be fun.
That's me every day. I don't know what you mean.
Well, then I guess I'm coming over.
Problem solved, just like that. We'll have our own.
We're having a
slip and slide.
cookout.
You and me, Kyoshi.
Wonderful.
Do you have a challenge idea, Les?
I can't think of one, but all of your ideas sound good.
But how about a hat design challenge?
Since we're
you
doing like
yeah.
aesthetics.
Bedazzle your hat challenge. How well can you bedazzle your hat?
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be fun. Like, you could get glitter, you could get like little jewels and stuff. Or not, or
You could
not.
do like certain designs for the bedazzling too.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
hate to interrupt,
Yeah.
but we are down to our final 4 minutes. So I want to
Cool.
make sure everybody gets a chance to plug themselves one last time, starting with you, Kiyoshi.
Oh shit. Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Kiyoshi Yorha,
You don't have
pansexual
to rush,
drag
by the way.
investigator. Oh, pansexual drag investigator. You can find me here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Kiyoshi Yorha. You can also find me on 4 YouTube channels.
List them all.
YouTube.
youtube.com/Kiyoshi Yorha, which is the main gaming channel where you can find my highlights and reactions on all my streams, cut down 10 hours of work or 10 hours streaming down to 30 minutes. There's also Kiyoshi at Kiyoshi Yorha reviews that is going to be built up at some point, and at Kiyoshi Yorha vlogs, which I actually have a vlog of my journey through TwitchCon and my drag performance and everything like that. And then I have other social medias that you can find in those socials. So there you go.
Awesome. Joystick, how can we find you?
Hi. You can find me at twitch.tv/joy_stick because joystick is still taken and they are being very petty about it. I have beef. Never mind. You can also find me on TikTok and Twitter at joystick. I actually have those handles. So, and Hive. I have that on Hive. And on Instagram at the joystick. So yeah. You can catch me hopefully every Saturday. Depends on my mood. Yeah, every Saturday streaming a bunch of random things. I've been recently playing a lot of Gotham Knights. I've been recently playing a lot of Pokemon Violet, and the occasional DVD. But yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Chorley, where can we find you?
Great question. So you can find me here on Twitch, Chorley with an O _swoon, like you're swooning romantically at me. Chorley_swoon. I'm Chorley_swoon on everything, including TikTok. I do a lot of stuff on TikTok, the YouTubes. I do a lot of things on the YouTube. Twitter, please. I need them. I don't know how to use Twitter, and I could really use all the support I can get. Just like you can just,
Before
I
it's
don't know.
gone.
Please,
fine,
please,
Twitter's
before
done.
it's
Before
done, please.
everyone
I
leaves.
I miss this era, and I didn't get to experience it. And
We're back to Tumblr now.
no, I still am on Tumblr. Don't even at me. And I'm live Saturdays, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And that's Les.
Awesome. Les, where can we find you?
You can find me at Les Bae, BAE, Anna, here on Twitch and pretty much everywhere else. Twitter, TikTok. I have like clips for my streams on there. What else? Instagram. I've have some of my looks, some clips from like IRL stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me. I'm not sure about my streaming schedule, but we got to work that out.
In another 84 years.
I'm just
Yes.
happy we have
Hopefully
you now,
not.
Les.
All right. Well, we got about like just a few seconds left, so I'll plug mine really quick. You can find me at Prince_Harming here on Twitch, Prince Harming TV on Twitter, and I stream 5 days a week usually. So you'll find me mostly in drag on Twitch most of those days playing games. But I want to thank y'all on the cast once again for joining me for a lovely Kings of the Internet panel. Applaud yourselves, everybody.
Woo!
Y'all did great.
Thanks,
Boob
Harmony.
shake, boob shake, boob shake.
And thank you for the audience, and thank you for raising money for Amphar. Love y'all.
Keep donating to Amphar.
Yes, keep
Exclamation
donating,
point,
everybody.
donate.
I'll take my mustache.